Salutations, visionaries. It's TSB Trill, and I got another Visionary Sessions. I got the Mackey brothers in here with me. These are my partners right here, man. And we here to talk about Montage Media Guild. That's that company. They got an event coming up. It's the Houston Mixed Media Festival. It's going to be from October 21st to the 23rd. And I mean, before we even really get into the event, which is going to be dope, y'all always going. Let's talk about how Montage Media Guild was formed, and then, why.
You want the long version or you want the short version?
Well, you know what? Let me introduce yourselves, man.
My bad, yeah. What's good? I'm Connor Mackey. You can find me on social media at Instagram or on Twitter at Machiavelli, like the philosopher, but it's spelled Mackeveli. Machiavelli. One word, no underscore, none of that.
Totally didn't know you were a philosopher, dude. My name is Kyle Mackey. You can follow me at Mackey HTX, like the city that I claim and I rep all day long.
Yeah. I feel you. Whichever brother wants to go, you guys can tell us all about it.
I'll pop it off. Montage Media Guild started in October of 2017, really just based off of a lot of the things that we had kind of been doing prior to 2017 and not really knowing that it was like a company. Our pops had a very strong background in Houston entertainment by way of the Rockets and a lot of different stuff, but then also Connor and I's love for sports and for memorabilia. So really wanting to see us really promote not only the trinkets and the treats that are the gems of Houston, but then also out of us really just being natives of Houston. You don't really meet a lot of people who were saying that they're born and raised in Houston anymore, and then also wanted to tell the story of entertainment.
I'm a transplant.
No, for sure. So, I mean, you can go to Atlanta and you can visit the Trap Museum. You can go to DC and you can catch the culture of all of the museums and the monuments. You can go to Miami, Florida and be immersed in the culture immediately. But nowhere in Houston are you able to find out and feel the arts and the media and the entertainment industry. So we just want to, being from here and having a great love for the people here and for our city, to kind of tell the story of Houston entertainment and how we are, even now, so to speak, probably one of the premier media entertainment hubs of the United States.
Hey, I definitely say so. Personally, I come from a background of event planning since college, and to have been to experience some of you guys' events, the rhythm section specifically, man, it was just like a breath of fresh air, dude, because like Houston can be so, like, party scene can be so flashy, so money based, and for you guys to really capture the vibe of why we even like music, like what you did, it just felt like, it felt innovative, it felt creative, and when you get that spark feeling, it's nothing like it, man. You know what I'm saying? You more confident in those type of arenas. You make better memories in those type of situations. So I love what you guys are doing, and that's why I had to have you guys come on here and talk about the vision, man, because it takes creativity plus vision. That's how you find the purpose. They both go hand in hand.
1,000%.
You want to add anything? My new brother.
The shameless plug.
Yeah, that's ridiculous.
Nah, yeah, man. I couldn't have said it better myself. I'm in complete concurrence just to the fact that I think Houston, we rival every other major city that has their own. Yeah. I feel like the word smart words, man. Yeah. But that rivals every other city that has its own identity. And obviously Houston has its own identity, but I feel like,
back to that, but I like what you said. Keep going.
I feel like to the mainstream or to the rest of the United States, Houston it's just chopped and screwed and syrup and swank. But there's more to our culture than that. And I feel like that's the part that a lot of people don't get to see. They get to see the stereotype or the prototype of what it is, but it's artists, visual artists, musical artists that are so creative and so well versed. I feel like what you see on the outside, that doesn't even necessarily come close to capturing, what really embodies the Houston art scene. So that's what we really wanted to do, was bringing the unsung, to the forefront.
So kind of like the growing entertainment
For sure.
and art scene.
1,000%. And I mean, and even with, you mentioned the rhythm section a little bit earlier, one component of it is for us to have and to highlight rising talent that is native of Houston or inspired by the city of Houston. Because as you said, you're not even from, born and raised in Houston, but the city of Houston has inspired so many people like you, so many artists that are here, and giving those people the opportunity not only just to show their art, but to tell their story. So when we do Rhythm Section, which is a derivative of the Versus, where we do a battle based on themes.
They do brother versus brother. Who gonna play the hottest damn song?
No, the hottest playlist. He's terrible.
Yeah.
But
I don't know who was. I don't know.
I was terrible.
I was out there last time.
About landslide.
Oh yeah.
But the true winner is always music.
Facts.
Yeah, for sure.
Facts.
Because you think about it like this, there's a surge and everybody really started to pick back up on R&B. Carter and I grew up.
Is there?
heavily
Because
on R&B.
we just heard. I mean, I don't personally believe this, and I can prove it. But the trend now is to say that R&B is dead.
But that's
Who said that?
Yeah.
I mean, Diddy said it.
But I'm maybe turning back.
Diddy is top 5 of what best R&B
Trolls.
Trolls, but I feel like his sound is like what makes up R&B top. If you could say like somebody that's curated the sound for us, he's top 5. So what makes y'all think he's still around? I'll ask you that.
Here's what I was saying. So to tie it in with the point I was going to make, the Rhythm Section, we highlight hip hop and R&B themes. So a lot of times we maybe do like 80s versus 90s or 90s versus 2000s.
Mm-hmm.
We may do boy bands versus girl groups. And
That's hard.
you talk a lot
Super
about
creative.
how many people come to our events, because the reality situation is between Carter and I, we maybe only have maybe about 5,000, 6,000 followers. But when you come to one of our events, you can't get in the room. But that is not because of anything that Carter and I are doing special. It is based off of the love for the music. So you gotta think about this. While we listen to a lot of the mainstream radio, we listen to what Apple Music subscribes to us. You gotta think about what truly drives us. And let's just keep it 1,000. When a shorty is in her car, you know what I'm saying, when she's at home, you know what I'm saying, she's listening to R&B. She's listening to Ari Lennox. She's listening to Summer Walker. If it's not that, they're jamming Jodeci.
I halfway disagree, because there is a whole lane of shorties that only exclusively jam trap music.
And I was just gonna say that I have some homegirls that only listen to Young Dolph to this day.
Is that? Would you say that that's a younger woman, or is that somebody like I'm 28? Is that gonna be a girl that's 28 that want to hear that hard shit all day?
I think so.
I think no. Here's
That's a
what I
sweeping
say.
generalization. I think so.
Any woman, I would
That's
say,
your opinion. You
born
gotta go off what's in your heart.
Yeah.
born after 1995 is a hardened criminal.
or knows a few.
No, for sure.
Girls love to say, they love to tell the next guy, like, I already been through
Yeah,
this.
they might not have committed the crime, but they were in the room.
No, for
somebody was
sure.
tied
It's
to a
why I'm
chair.
excited.
Yeah.
But I will say
Yeah.
this, because this is a theory that I haven't put too much thought into, but it's just a theory currently, is that millennials, because we are caught in the middle between two generations, we are literally the tastemakers for all music that's going on right now. Who likes what, how the music scene is going to shift, how the art scene is going to shift. I know we're going to touch on that a little bit later, but so again, to say that if anybody right now between the ages of about 24 and about 40 right now, let me tell you something, you have a superpower, to tell the world what it is that you want to listen to or what's important to you, and that's going to drive kind of what.
And they got the money too. You know what I mean? Because the music, I think the reason why sometimes the music doesn't feel as genuine is because the money is behind it. So what I wanted to ask both of you guys is, because we want to talk about Houston. If you could describe like the Houston scene in 3 words, like what would you describe it as? I give you mine.
Really?
Okay. Well, this word is a hyphenated word. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna say ghetto fabulous.
I agree.
I'm gonna say hardworking, and like I said earlier, flashy.
Okay.
And when you mix all of that together, it's people that they love. Like you hear the term "work hard, play hard." I feel like that's very strong in Houston. Like people are working 12, 16 nurses doing all these shifts, but when they in that club or wherever they enjoying themselves,
Taking it there, for sure.
it's a movie for sure. A movie. So that's my 3.
You said to describe what particular scene are we just the Houston?
I would just say Houston because a lot of people feel like kind of like what your brother said, Kyle said, like it's like the generic, or maybe you said this is a generic look at Houston based on what we've seen in music videos in the past. But I think when you guys being locals, like natives of Houston, you can describe it better because you grew up here. So it's not just about what we see on TV, it's about what y'all felt. You know what I'm saying? So
Honestly,
describe that.
mine is best kept secret. Like, to be honest with you, because how we a tourist city, we don't have no theme park, we don't have no major national landmarks that I know. I could be speaking out of ignorance here. But what do you come to Houston to experience? You don't come to experience a thing like Chicago, you go see the Bean, or you go to, Paris, see the Eiffel Tower. You come to experience the culture. That's what you're coming for. And so that's something that's hard to verbalize or hard to articulate. Well, what is it to do in Houston? It's like, man, you just gotta come see. You know what I'm saying? Like, because what would you tell somebody to do if they were coming here?
It's crazy because, man, I've never heard it said like that, but that's so dope because that's literally, Houston is like, I tell people all the time, Houston is a black man's dream. Like, everything you're doing over there, you can do it over here, like on some black vibes. Like, the same way people get excited when they talk about, like, what's the Greenwood? Like, the same way they get excited about that, I feel like we're in that and we don't even realize it as much. Like, it's so, because I lived in Oklahoma, I've been in LA, lived in LA for parts of time, lived in Chicago, and you can tell, like, the black scene here is very, like, like, it has an infrastructure, foundation.
For sure.
It's every level. Like, it's even grocery stores out here that's black owned. So, we're moving in the right direction.
And it's crazy I say that, to even tie it back, that's also probably one of the pillars as to why Connor and I started Montage Media Gear.
Yeah.
Because you can go and you can do that in all those other cities, and to really establish a landmark for people when they come to Houston. Because one of the arms of Montage Media Gear is to open a gallery where you can see kind of the progression of not just entertainment, but also black, and indigenous people of color, and how we've contributed to that culture. Because you talk about specifically the culture of Houston, and just to be very honest with you, there have been a lot of people that look like us that have driven the progression of this city. So even now, you talk about what do you do when you come to Houston. I subscribe to the Houston Chronicle, the 100 top 100 restaurants in Houston. A lot of those are black-owned restaurants. A lot of those are restaurants that we know that don't serve food, but they provide another, nuance that is going to drive people to make people feel like they want to be there.
Yeah, the stripper dinner.
You know what I'm saying? So, hey, I'm just saying. So, but to say that, to give my best, to give my 3 words that describe Houston, I'm just gonna flat out say it. It's pretentious, but not so much in the sense of we feel like we're better than any other city. We just have a lot of pride in what we do. We're very prideful, and we're very chauvinistic in what we have here in the city. Because anybody that's outside of Houston, when you come here, it's like, oh, I'm from Houston.
I don't think I felt he was going that way because I was going to say something similar, but I wasn't going to use the word pretentious. I was going to go elitist. Because pretentious is almost like you said, it's not a pretend. Elitism, it's like we do actually feel like this.
No, it's hard to feel like you. It's hard to say describe somebody as elitist and also say, but we don't feel like we're better than you.
No, for sure.
Oh, I didn't say that we didn't feel like
And this next one is going to be you had a hyphen. I'm going to do a 3 hyphenated. It's rooted in tradition. So, and that is that while we are progressive, while we are doing great things and making great strides, we do not let go of where we came from. Yeah. So again, as great of an artist as Solange is, and Travis Scott and Don Toliver, we refuse to let go of Slim Thug, Bun B, Paul Wall, Chameleon. We're not, but that is because those gentlemen, when Houston was a barren
blue collar
so to speak,
blue collar city.
When people just come here to work, transient city, they took that and they made something from nothing. Yes. And those gentlemen are owed everything because they took. Because Connor and I are from the north side of Houston, Texas. So when we talk about a lot of that, we have a lot of great pride in that because a lot of people that we grew up around and that we grew up listening to were people that we could reach out and touch. it's no secret to say that when our uncle was attending Booker T. Washington High School, we could go to the back of Mike Jones' trunk and see him playing music out of his trunk and buy a CD out of his trunk, you know?
Super dope.
You know, like, and that's just how when we saw Slim Thug, I'm talking about 5X t-shirt cutting down to almost his wrist with the blue nice beads hanging from his, you know.
He did have he had the secret braids because he used to always wear a do-rag.
But I'm telling you, like, seeing those gentlemen in their element, like when they're not being celebrities, when they were just chilling and hanging out, and then even to bring it forward, a lot of people don't know, B King is from Studewood. You know what I'm saying? So B King
I didn't know.
B King played tenor, drum, and snare in the Booker T. Washington band. And
8 out of 10 people in Houston don't know where Studewood is.
That nigga looked like he used to be in the band.
No, yeah, but you gotta think about it like this, and I want to make sure I say it so that it's documented. Booker T. Washington don't get enough of the love that it really needs to get for bringing a lot of the artists.
It's crazy because there's a Booker T. Washington where I'm from.
It's a Booker T. Washington.
And it's probably one of the most
It's a Booker T. Washington High School everywhere.
It's one of the most, it's an MLK. It's a random ass city in Texas that you would not think. I want to say College Station. MLK is in College Station.
Oh, no, I think it is.
You would think that, but it is what it is.
MLK in College Station.
Hey man, you never know, man.
Heinous acts.
I'm ghetto fabulous too.
I love that for you.
Let me ask y'all this: what do you think? Because you just said you named some of the artists, and you named a lot of artists in Houston. You can't call them in the same category.
Sure.
So how do you? With that being said, is there a way to market an artist in Houston? Like if you thought somebody needs to get off in Houston, what would you do?
You talking about that is from Houston, native of Houston, that's trying to, or
just making music in Houston.
Just making music in Houston.
Yeah.
I know what my answer is.
Go ahead, please.
Okay, because I want to know if we think alike.
Okay.
No, we do. I'm pretty sure.
I think the first things first. I think the key to being an artist in Houston, not just an artist in Houston, but an artist anywhere, it's almost like being a chef. Now, I grew up on the Food Network, and a lot of people that were chefs, they say, well, what inspired you to make the food that you make? It's like, I started cooking because I was making food that I liked. Like, I made the food that I wanted to consume, and now I have a restaurant with all the food that I like to make. I'm gonna bring that to the music. First things first, don't make music for anyone else. If that make the music that you would like to consume. I think that's you see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And the people that rock with you, that have the same taste as you, or they just feel you, you know what I'm saying? They gonna fuck with it. And even if you only got 5,000 loyal fans, you got 5,000 loyal fans. You know what I'm saying? Because I've talked to people that are, I would say, underground artists. When I say underground, I just mean like you're not on the radio. Yeah, exactly. And I asked them like what what are you striving to do with music? And they say, I just want to make a comfortable living off music. I don't have to be Drake or Migos. I just want to be able to do music and use that to pay my bills.
But it's so tough because, like I get what you're saying, and that you're talking more of like a musician. I feel like
that maybe that's yeah.
Because musicians is a lot of you can have a lot of options.
Yeah,
but an artist and musician like those
should go in.
It kind of should.
And I was gonna take it the other way. I was gonna take it more the art route.
Yeah.
And for me, just because I'm not a traditional visual artist or a conceptual artist, I engage in a lot of conversations around art, and I know a lot of artists. What I would just say is that every opportunity is just like every opportunity is an interview, or every opportunity is a way for you to introduce your art into somebody else. Because let's just keep it 1,000. There are so many pockets in Houston. There are so many different neighborhoods in Houston, and if we're just keeping it real, there are so many. Just kind of people where people are kind of, I don't want to say segregated, but it's yeah, you know, it's like, I'm only rocking with this group over here, or I'm only doing this in this particular area, and you have to kind of be a social chameleon in the sense of I'm going to take what Connor just said. I'm going to take what I know and what I love and what makes me genuine and what makes me unique as an artist, and I'm going to take it to this group. I'm going to take it to this group. So you just literally have to push yourself, and you literally have to put yourself on a social schedule where it's just like, hey, you know what? I'm gonna go to the turn-ups, I'm gonna be downtown 1 week, but then hey, guess what? I'm gonna go to O2 next weekend, and then I'm gonna leave O2, and then I'm gonna go to Midtown, and I'm gonna leave Midtown, and then I might be, off Victory and West Montgomery, what I'm saying, at the lot, who knows?
We'll be chopping in West Montgomery. Because I swear, I feel what you're saying, because whenever I'm trying to like market for an event, like when we do the Connect or something like that, when we gear back up for our stuff, anything, I'm outside with it, like making connections. But I think a lot of artists, man, that's like, it's like they pour their work, they give that same energy you would give to being social and networking. That's the energy that they apply to their work. And it's hard for them to understand that, yes, you did this, but that's only half the battle.
For sure. So can I put a shameless plug in here?
Yeah, I got one about to do too.
If I were an artist,
yeah,
and I were trying to get my name or my brand out there, I would come to Montage Media. And let me tell you why I would do that. Because I don't want to say we use a bait and switch tactic, but we have events and we attract people with one thing. It's like, we want you to come for this, but we want you to stay for the artist. So even like when we was talking about the rhythm section, it's like everybody likes popular R&B music. So it's like, okay, you come, you hear this music, and while you're here, we actually got, some very talented artists. And as long as you can put that bug in people's ear, if you get 4 or 5 people out of the room that start jamming your music, and then they tell somebody,
that's how it goes.
That word of mouth is very underrated. Because I'm not even gonna lie to you, one of the things about the Houston, just the media scene, even with art and with music, people don't like you until it's cool to like you.
I was just gonna say that. Nobody knows.
That's the world.
Everybody. So you gotta go trend. Yeah, you gotta make yourself cool to be cool. If that makes, what I'm saying.
But here's the thing about that though, to kind of bring somebody on that. It's not about following what is already set as popular, because the thing about Houston is that unfortunately we catch on to everything late. Emancipation Proclamation.
The reason why we got a holiday right now,
it's gonna make it down here late. You know what I'm saying? So what I would suggest is that you stay true to what continues to make you unique, because eventually it's gonna catch on. And then again, so back to the point that I made, nobody knows you until everybody knows you. So as you're doing what Connor is saying, and you're jumping into these different communities, you know what I'm saying? You're gonna soon find that eventually, oh snap, I know somebody from here. Oh snap, I know somebody from here. I know somebody from here. And to bring it back to Montage Media, another shameless plug is that we are trying to unify the music and the arts community.
Facts.
I'm excited about it.
Yeah, Connor and I are not one of those
people. It feels
people.
genuine, bro.
It really is.
Because music is so, I swear to you, it's like, I don't know if I'm getting old, and maybe I am, but I see so many artists nowadays from wherever, and it's just like, oh, that was a quick little buck. They just made some money off them. They didn't care about their career at all. Like, I'll tell you right now, like, I don't feel like somebody like an Ice Spice, like, I feel like they setting her up for failure. Like, oh, you signed me off of one line, not a song. Because have you ever heard the whole song? Have you heard the whole song?
I'm not even gonna lie to you. I have heard that. I put it on in the car one day, bro.
Okay, that's cool. But then,
I was riding around, and
when you put somebody on that high of a pedestal, what are we gonna say if she don't stay on that pedestal?
That I'm a munch.
That I'm a one-hit wonder. But for me, it's just like it's too much commercial. It's too much like, oh, they trendy, so let's make it hot. And then you miss over so many good artists that actually are musicians. The shit that when you go to church and you hear one singer, you don't know who she is, but you're like, man, I want to hear her again. We don't have that a lot. You know what I mean?
And even in Houston, the thing about Ice Spice is an artist that I'm pretty sure got propelled by her city. New York is one of those cities where it's like, if everybody's behind you, you're good.
Yeah.
Yes.
Houston has yet to really just get all the way behind one artist and say that we don't say this damn.
We didn't even feel like Travis. I knew he was from Houston, but his marketing never felt like Houston. Every so often he said most cities.
Story about Travis Scott right now.
You know what?
We don't have the time.
You could. We're gonna be back on here. Let me ask y'all. I had some questions I want to ask y'all. First of all, I want to say one thing. If you're a rapper in Houston and you want to get hot, you better bring your ass to Montage Media Guild, because they already got a whole network in the city, they college professionals. So that means people with money that's gonna listen to you.
Yeah, we're not gonna be dancing in your music videos.
And then another thing, get you some money and take your ass to the strip club. If it get hot in the strip club, it'll get hot all over the city. I promise you. If the strippers dance to it, we'll be at the club with it too.
That was some secret sauce.
That's a secret game. I don't get that out too much. You know, so if you're looking for a manager, that costs a lot. But
that's hip hop and that's R&B.
Yeah, I was gonna say,
didn't teach you nothing sexier than a stripper popping that ass is
it's R&B.
That's how Lil Murder came up.
It makes me right.
I promise you, half the rap songs you hear out of Atlanta right now
Wings be winging.
started off in the strip club.
No, R&B.
Yeah.
1000%.
Well, let me ask y'all this, man. You know what I'm saying? I like to play this or that, you know, so we're going to get into that real quick. You know, like it's a music game. You know, we talking big music. We're going to, so this I'm going to switch it up. It's not going to be just options, but I'm going to ask y'all opinion on something. We'll start it off with this one, man. Has Kanye gone crazy, yes or no?
No. Kanye's been crazy. If you watch the documentary, Kanye has been crazy.
He had crazy eyes sometimes, but that documentary was inspiring to me, personally.
Kanye
I was
West
inspired.
has been an insane individual for a very long time. However, there were circumstances that added to him being mentally insane.
I'll throw in a caveat. People make it seem like it was a switch. It was more like a knob. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't like he was chilling one day and it was now I'm crazy. It was like, oh,
it's been slowly.
Yeah, like, all right.
And let's just keep it a thought out too. Man, your mom passed away publicly.
That should have changed you.
Especially when you got the best friend friendship with you. That's kind of how I have with my mom.
For sure.
That's like, because I ask myself nowadays, who can I talk to about everything? It's like, it's still low-key moms. Because I don't have a brother or sister.
And then also, I'm going to cut you off.
Go ahead.
You have to be, to everybody in the back, the producers and the execs in here, I appreciate you for being here. Be careful about who you choose as your shorty. Because ain't no way in the three hells in heaven that you pick Kim Kardashian to be your shorty.
Nah, bro.
You tap that ass. Definitely. You tap that ass up.
Listen,
but you don't cuff.
But the thing is, bro, you're not outworking the Heisman running back. You know what I mean? That's that man. Listen, he didn't drill that thing to completion.
I think that he has poor friends. Because before he dated Shorty, let's just keep it a thought out. Bro, you dated Amber Rose? Chill out, dog.
She was
tap, don't cuff. I need to get on a t-shirt. What the fuck are you?
Nah, tap don't.
Next question for this today. Nah,
facts. But what about this, man? We getting real controversial out here, man. Tory Lanez or Brent Fayez, man. Who y'all going with?
I'm gonna go with Brent.
I was gonna go with Brent too.
Y'all gonna go with Brent?
Yeah.
I fuck with Brent too, man. I think
Brent loved Houston. Brent loved the University of Houston.
I think Brent has one of the dopest music waves right now. Like his shit is how he's doing it is new age R&B. That's why I wanted to bring him up because it's just like to me, that's R&B. You can't say R&B is dead when you got somebody pulling the trigger on a great album like that. And it was so toxic. They both toxic kings.
I love the toxic.
That's how you win an R&B day. It ain't about love no more. It's about toxic. About being bad.
I'm not gonna lie to you.
You think so?
Yeah. R&B music has always been toxic.
Always?
I want you to
female and male.
Yeah.
Think about some of your favorite R&B
songs.
Yeah.
Give me one name.
Yeah, y'all gonna say give me an example.
Man.
I'm trying. It's a song in my head right now.
Stutter.
You said a stutter? Yeah. It was a whole lot of dirty macking, bro.
No, it was definitely
a whole lot of
era.
What is it? Sally, this is Sherry and shit, whatever.
Barbara, this is Sherry.
Yeah,
you can't help but wait. You know, so that's some ultimate dirty macking. Yeah.
Mrs. Jones? Oh my gosh.
Let me tell you something about Mrs. Jones.
No, listen, what's Buddy's name that had the song where Mario, I Don't Want to Know is the simplest song. If you're playing, you keep it on the low.
No, but
because let me tell you
I respect it.
I respect it too. You better cheat it. I bet not about it.
Because if I don't know, it's almost like it didn't happen. I'm not giving you the green light,
but I'm just saying about what he did.
Yeah, that's true.
All right, man. Let's see, man. Who else I got? Travis Scott or Kid Cudi?
Wow, why would you?
Why would you do that?
I mean, I'm gonna go with the home team.
There you
know
go.
what I'm saying? Yeah, I'm
Okay.
gonna go with the home team. I'm definitely going with
Here's why I'm gonna go Cudi.
He just came out with a dope movie. That's
that shit was fire.
bro, that might be the first cartoon classic.
I put some time on my schedule to put that album in the car and ride around and be sad. I was like, you know what? I'm gonna be sad today. Shh. It was some sad.
Y'all a little bit younger than I am. So again, hearing like Cudi like early on, like I was in like high school.
When that Man on the Moon.
No, when just a kid named Cudi and I was jamming them over on an iPod this big.
Hey, you know what I'm saying? One, man. We heard him on NBA Live.
And also, without incriminating myself, the first time that I indulged in some illegal activity, I was under the influence of Kid Cudi. That Man on the Moon took me somewhere else that I didn't even have no.
But do you even know Cleveland is the reason?
Cleveland.
That's it, boy. I'm gonna add that little song right here. Boom, it's gonna.
No, for sure. But some chocolate screw shit too, though. Shout out to Houston.
At the end, bro. That's what I'm saying. So many influences. A$AP Rocky said he got his swag from Chocolate Screw music.
Oh my God. His whole first, that's how he got on, and that's how Drake does the same thing. His first snap of just culture vulturing was straight out of here. He talks about early on about him performing at Warehouse Live. Nobody showed up to the shows. Him doing photo shoots at Rap A Lot. One photographer just barely taking photos of him and stuff like that.
Yeah. I never knew that.
And that's what we mean by Houston influence. You don't have to be from here.
You remember that line when he was like, I'm at Warehouse, like, fuck that, is Bun coming? Is anyone coming before I show up there? And there's no way.
I'm gonna look it up now.
Yeah.
But that's my thing, man. I just wanted y'all to highlight Houston and talk about the city because I think, I like you said, it's the best kept secret. I think Houston, like how people go like, man, where should we go for spring break? Where should we go to hang out? I think celebrities say they choose Houston as like, let's go have some fun. Because that's what you come to Houston for. You come to do the club, you come to eat good, and you come to meet people, man. You come to network, you know what I'm saying?
No, let me tell you something.
Let me tell you, it ain't no pros in that though. All the shorties just be on platforms, hands on the roof.
I ain't never been in there. That's how it be.
It's BYOB.
It's ghetto, like nice and ghetto.
No,
it's good ghetto.
It's nothing nice about it.
Oh, Gold Diggers is overrated.
No. When I say there's nothing nice about it, I mean like it's not a pleasant place to be. You're gonna go and you're gonna get what you came for.
Nothing more, nothing less. That shit sound like food raw.
That's exactly what it is.
That was the fiesta of strip clubs.
Oh my God! Don't ever take me. If somebody tries to
No, but we should go.
And don't wear.
It's a good time. It's a good.
No. Let me tell you something.
It's a good ghetto time. And don't wear anything that you care about.
Yeah, don't wear nothing white.
Yeah, definitely nothing white.
Hey,
but don't wear nothing you care about.
Go in that hole like you get ready to cut grass.
Go in there like you're going to a phone party.
Going to a strip club like you got to cut grass is nasty behavior. You in there?
Let me tell you something.
Thank me.
And I'm talking about my homeboys and my homegirls that I've taken in there. They come out of there and their eyes just be like, that was Houston. Gotta go back.
Yeah, because they get booty, but they get in there, don't they?
Well, we're not allowed to say. We don't want to get them snatched like that.
Oh, okay, it's a secret.
Yeah, Montage Media Guild is not affiliated with the Gold Diggers Strip Club.
All right. Well, speaking of that,
the Houston Mixed Media Festival, this is kind of where we've sort of brought all the events that we've done in the past and we've combined them into one weekend, so to speak. We partnered with a young lady, her name is Brittany, and she owns Elevate Creative Studios. So we did an art show there.
Super nice studio.
For sure. Yeah, we did a Vivid art show back in May there.
It was all the way in May.
It was all the way in May. And she said, hey, we do a festival that I usually do in Dallas. I'm looking to bring it to Houston. And so we partnered on that. And so we have 3 events. Friday, we're doing a mini concert. That's going to be at Hinky and Pilot downtown. And so we have 7 local artists that are going to be performing. So y'all come check them out. They are all very, very talented. And I'm not just saying that because they're in our mini concert. But you know, I wouldn't co-sign nothing that I didn't personally think was.
I trust you, bro. You ain't gonna have me in there listening to no. What is his name?
Ice JJ Fish. Top 5 brother. And then Saturday we're having an art show Also, is going to be at Elevate Creative Studios. So that's going to be a visual art show. Come and check out, some really nice.
See, I switching locations.
Yeah. It's 3 days, 3 different locations.
Okay, that's good.
So yeah, Saturday's the art show, and then Sunday is going to be a vendor market, but we're having it at Tribeca Art Gallery. And so during that vendor market, there's an event that will be going on called Sexy Soul Sunday. And so that's an event that goes on every Sunday. It's a live R&B concert. And so there's a lot of local artists. They come and they do covers of popular R&B music.
Super dope.
In front of a live band. Very, very dope. So we're going to have a vendor market going on during that. So y'all can, come get y'all some very niche items from the vendor market. But if you'd like to stay for the turn up, we're going to have a curated cocktail menu. We're going to have hookah. We're going to have all the stuff y'all like to do, man.
For sure. And really,
excited.
The biggest thing about all of this is that all of the artists, whether they're musical, whether they are visual or conceptual, are either native to Houston or have literally been in Houston, 7 or odd years. So they're able to, and all these artists are going to be there, standing in front of their art or performing and then coming straight off the stage and hanging with us. So one thing that we feel like is unique about the experience that we're providing is that you go to a lot of the places and you don't get a chance to meet the artist. Hey, you just got off stage, man, I really like that song, but hey, now I can even come down just as a somebody's getting ready to be a fan of you, be like, hey man, what was your inspiration behind that song? Or what were you going through? Or hey man, can I follow you on Instagram, and then get the follow back from an artist that you actually listen to.
Sound like the atmosphere where it's mutually beneficial for the artist and the potential fan.
Yeah, for sure.
And make a real connection.
Yeah.
And it's gonna be safe.
Our biggest thing too also is that Connor and I, we try to facilitate events where the artists that are there have opportunities to then go on and to work with other of our affiliates. Hey, you were in the Vivid Art Show. Now I see that my friend has you in his art show. Right? I see my friend brought you over to your festival. That brings us a lot of pride and joy. That's really what makes us, because at the end of the day, we're unifying the arts community a little bit, like I said earlier, which is really, it doesn't have to be 7 or 8 different art pockets. It can be one unified one with all of us together, making it happen for all of the artists.
Like I told you, man, what I got going on, TSV to Connect, and what you guys got going on, there's a few other people out here that's making a lot of waves. I think, with us having our inner community, man, we all rise together and we really create a organic environment for people to enjoy things and events in Houston. People are always coming down here like, what's the next thing? What I've got to look for? So I love getting to tell them, oh, this is what you need to be at next week. So, we're going to be there. We're going to have a good time, hear some good music. Appreciate it. Have some good food.
Oh my God.
And, we'll fellowship. Let's just leave it at that. You know what I mean? Yeah, man. So, it is what it is. Man. I appreciate y'all, boys. Man.
Appreciate you, man.
Yeah.
It's long overdue.
For sure.
Yeah, I dub the OG. Diamonds dripping water like I fetched them out of the sea. Okay.